Hey guys, Greg here, Kings of Kanto. I've been thinking about that. I should have done like Kings of Kanto TCG or the Kings of Kanto cards and collectibles. I should have put something on it. Because just Kings of Kanto. It's just called Kings of Kanto. If you look me up on TCG Player, it's just Kings of Kanto. But makes the entry a little bit harder. If you're here, then I didn't chicken out and I uploaded the first video. So this is video number 2, and like I promised, I'm going to talk about a subject. But since I'm kind of laying the story out there, I got to do a somewhat of an update. So for the second day in over 20 years, I didn't drive to work today. It's a weird feeling. I can't purge myself of the anxiety of, when am I going back? But I did list a lot of cards last night. Got caught up on some things. Um, we ran around. I bought a couple of lots, a couple of card lots off of Facebook Marketplace. Um, they weren't very good ones. I was just trying to buy something, and I was in the city, and I had one good one, and a couple of other little bulk lots I put together. I didn't spend much. One of them's going to be pretty good. The other two probably shouldn't have bought. But that's okay. Came home, checked my orders. 37 orders today. $618 in sales. One of my biggest days I've ever had on the platform. It was pretty interesting. It's a good thing. Some of it could be because direct's down. I don't know. Also got an email from GameStop. I have, I think, 11 cards at PSA right now. For some reason, only one was separated. That score came back. I got a PSA 10 on Team Rocket's Mewtwo, not the big one, the full art one. But it looks like it's still selling for about 170 bucks, so that's good news. Hopefully it'll get back soon and get it posted. So that's how my second day went as a stay-at-home business owner, in between jobs, whatever I am, entrepreneur. So the topic for today: what kind of business would you start if you were going to start a business in Pokemon? You know, I, I have a lot of knowledge, different stuff, customer service, retail stuff, but I want to do Pokemon. So the channel is going to be a Pokemon business channel. I'll talk about other stuff. I have opinions on the market, stuff like that. We could talk about stuff like that also in other videos. But specifically, I want to talk to people that have thought about making a Pokemon business. Maybe they stay at home, right now I'm taking care of my mom. She's in a wheelchair. So uh, that's a life circumstance that I have. And this works out good for that. So I'm able to do something on the side. I also have a son with autism. He's high functioning nonverbal. Well, he can talk when he wants to, but they consider him nonverbal. Uh, so I have my hands full with those two people in my life. Obviously, working a full time job is hard. So before I tell you what my business plan is, I want to break down the different business models. Um, Obviously, the first one that everybody looks at is sealed. I mean, opening an LGS, a card store. I used to think I wanted a card store in LGS. I'm going to tell you right now, in the 5 years that I've been truly paying attention to the market, there's been a very short span where that ever worked out. I mean, there was a short period of time here, this last boom, where you could have got a ton of Twilight Masquerade from distribution or Stellar Crown from distribution and sold and made a profit. But for the most part, how it normally goes, and if somebody that has a LGS or a distributor stumbles onto my video and calls me a dumbass, then that's fine. Um, but from my experience, how it normally goes is either distribution's packed, and they can't move anything, and when you buy it, market's low, you make 5 or 10% on something if you're lucky. If you're selling online, you basically are just moving stuff and not making anything. Um, or it's a bull market and it's high and you can't get as much as you want. Like right now, there's nothing at distribution. Uh, you know, people look at it from the outside and they're like, "Oh man, these scalpers, they're buying it for this. Card stores must be making a killing." I've been a part of the wholesale program with Pokemon USA for 2 years, and I can barely get a case of something. So yeah, make your money on that, and then what? Sit on your hands. Okay. There was a very short period of time, always is a very short period of time where in between the market shift where you can get stuff and make a normal markup on stuff the way it's designed to be able to buy it from distribution for 80, 90, $100 depending on what it is, depending on what set it is, depending on how much you buy from a distributor. Let's say $90 a box and MSRP is 164. That's how it's supposed to work. Very rarely ever works like that. Um, Twilight Masquerade could have got as much as I wanted. Stellar Crown could have got as much as I wanted. Surging Sparks, to a certain extent, could have gotten quite a lot. Um, it was great. That time with period was great. Those products were selling well. Not MSRP. You could sell Twilight Masquerade towards the third or fourth month it was out for 120, 130. But it was selling great right off the bat for a fair price. Uh, Stellar Crown, it came out 120, 130. Normal selling, but it is not like that very often. And the overhead of an LGS, these LGSs, if your plan is to sell sealed Pokemon, there's not really a business model there. No LGS makes it off with just sealed Pokemon. None of them. They have other stuff that they do, buying and selling singles, um, hosting stuff. They sell supplies. They do probably some online sales. There's just not a lot. There's they have to do a little bit of everything to make an LGS work, which I commend those people. There's content creators I love on here that do stuff like that. RNG Games, Rob, Mason, Cardinal Gaming. If you are for some reason watching this content right now, you should definitely be following those guys because those guys know way more than I do. Okay, so you should definitely be following those guys. Um, great dudes, great dudes. Mason has a store. Rob RNG Games, he's got a big store. They do a lot of stuff. They're breaking down stuff. They're selling online. They're selling in store. They're selling singles. They open to provide singles. They're playable. They're selling lots of different things. Okay, so um, that's the LGS route. Okay, vendor stuff. Vendor POV is a huge deal right now. Vending is a lot of fun. I just recently did it the first couple of times my first two times just here recently. It's a lot of fun. It really is. Uh, Most people that vend, that business model is not like exclusive to vending. I guess it could be. Most vendors also do some type of online sales. I guess if you were doing only only vending, you can make it work. You would travel a lot though. There's travel expenses and stuff like that. Conventions and stuff are hot right now. It's so busy. Every card show is so busy. And despite the fear of market fatigue, there's still a lot of people buying stuff. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of money being spent. Um, it's a good opportunity to acquire stuff. You can trade. You know, if you trade at 80 and you street purchase stuff at 70%, I mean, you basically got stuff in there that you own for 50%. You know, you see how the math on that works. Your margin just gets better and better the more you trade, the more you buy. It's a little bit easier to get retail. You don't have to worry about fees and stuff like that. But there's a lot of travel. You got to pretty much, if you're going to do it as a side hustle, is great. Some of my people that I consider to be friends that got me to do this recently, it's a side hustle for them. Some of them even do so much volume that's like, why are you not doing this full time? It's like they could make enough money doing it. I mean, I don't know. They have their own reasons, but to do it full time, you would have to be dedicated, be on the road every weekend, have a show, have capital, be constantly buying because you got to sell. I mean, there's travel expenses. You know, some of these bigger places, $200-300 for a table. I think Collecticon's pushing like almost 400 maybe. But those cases and stuff that you put stuff in, it's not cheap either. Uh, just constantly traveling is yeah, it's expensive, but it's definitely a fun part of the business. Um, flipping. Uh, I guess the part that I'm going towards is kind of combined. Bulk. There's not many people that just exclusively do bulk. Bulk normally comes with buying lots and doing some kind of flipping. I initially wanted to be only online. I believe that there is a business model where you can be completely online, buying bulk lots and singles lots and listing them. The idea is you get enough of an inventory together, you're just adherently going to get people in. Now, the TCG itself for Pokemon is big enough, and Magic is big enough where playable cards can just sifting for playable cards can be quite the side hustle. You'd have to have a pretty large operation to make it a full time job. There's I really didn't see a way to do that, even though I went full on into the bulk. I mean, I have 50,000 cards online right now, and I have quite a few cards in the house here that aren't online. My plan was to try to have every dang card that I could, every variant, as back as far as I could get my hands on it. And if somebody optimized a cart and they wanted to get a reverse hollow from every set and sword and shield, I wanted to have it. My idea was if I did that and I was a gold star seller, I was verified that my cart would optimize and I would just outwork everybody, have the most variety, have everything online. Because a lot of these guys out here, these other content creators, they've been doing it longer than me. They're not burnt out. I want to put every card online. Every card has value. Chase, TCG Bulk Kings. Um, he's right. And I bought into that wholeheartedly. The first time he said it, I thought, you know what? Somebody's got to do it because I like to master set stuff. There's a job out there. So bulk, that's the idea of it. Eventually, when I get this baseline, this base of stuff online, most of what I bring in is going to be hunting for stuff that is maybe a one-off, like a Lugia Hollow from Vivid Voltage or something. I don't know. I think, or like a Charizard from Vivid Voltage, or uh, some type of hollow from XY or Sun and Moon that I know is expensive. Like, of course, you'd sort out that. But the majority of the bulk lots that I go through now, I already have. 50 copies of every card, basically. So I'm just looking for playable stuff. I'm digging out night stretchers and Arvins and stuff like that. Um, you know, a lot of these guys, if you're looking at the bulk side of it, they go in and make mystery packs or bulk lots and stuff like that, to supplement it after they dig out the playable or the stuff that's over a quarter, over 50 cents. And there's definitely a business model there. But I mean, in reality, just looking at the three ways: online, TCG Player, eBay. eBay is great. I'm not going to talk much about eBay just because I simply don't understand it as much as TCG Player. I think TCG Player is very, very buyer friendly. It's super easy to sort. It's super easy to make a cart. Super easy to see if it's from the same seller. To me, uh, I could just be illiterate, but eBay sucks. I don't like looking for anything on there, typing it in. You go and look at the last sold on something, and somebody, there could be four sales that day, and you only show one of them because somebody added the series number or something on there. I can't stand that crap. To me, TCG Player is easy. You see all the sales, see all the sales data. It's easy for the people to shop, set name, yada yada, go go go. And I'm sure that to a certain extent on the eBay side, it's like that too. And eBay, as far as I know from what I see, it's still king. But TCG Player definitely is a good enough platform and does a good enough job and has enough traffic and only growing to support whatever business needs you needed, uh, in my opinion. Now, from my experience, even though I only did bulk and I've done some vending, I think that a business model, if you're going to do it as a side hustle, any three of these are great. You can flip sealed product, especially if you hold for a little bit. Most of the stuff grows. It just does. Bulk, really easy side hustle. I know people that literally buy a bulk lot, skim out $200 worth of playable cards, and then flip the bulk back to other people, which is grimy. Don't do that. But there's people that side hustle and just pulling out playables. And obviously, buying out collections and stuff, it's just about having capital. If you got money, you can make money in this still. You'll hear me say that probably every video. And it's true because the opportunities are there. There is somebody somewhere that needs to make a car payment and has $1,000 card that they're willing to sell you for 600. I'm telling you, there's more people out there like that than you can imagine. So, what I have noticed, and I'll tell you a little bit about my plan on it. I think you gotta do a little bit of everything. I didn't even really touch on grading because grading's kind of a weird spot right now. To be 100% honest, it's not as stable as it was. There's a lot of weird fluctuations, super high, comeback. The pop reports don't matter quite as much as they used to because there's so many cards being graded. It's more it's really just about what's getting shilled. I mean, and popular species that everybody wants. But grading is a huge part. So for me, I do want to stay mostly online. I mean, I'm going to do some vending, but I like online. I like TCG Player as a platform, and I think that if you have the know-how, you have the resources, you live in a metropolitan area, you can get on Facebook Marketplace right now and type in Pokemon cards for sale. And if you live anywhere near a metropolitan area, you're going to see tons of opportunities on there. That's just a fact. It's a fact. Um, consider it. Consider it. I've considered it for a year. I don't know that it'll work out like that. I'll probably have to do something else and work another job. But it's a fun thought, and it won't be for a lack of working. And as I go in and I talk about other things and things that I've found, things that work really good, things that I even things that I think maybe I've found out and most of the majority of people haven't. I'll share that stuff. Not because I don't care if there's competition, but because it's gonna be really hard for somebody to work harder than I do. It's not just about knowing, you got to do it. It's a hustle. It's a grind. It's a grind to make it work. But if you're thinking about starting a Pokemon business, I don't care about the bull market. I don't care about the bear market. If you're doing a little bit of everything, grading, buying collections, flipping it, holding some sealed stuff whenever you find a good deal, you ain't even got to hold it for 2 years or nothing. There's some stuff, just like right now, stuff's about to go out of rotation. You could probably, in all honesty, and I'm not saying do this, and don't send me like a bill for it if it doesn't work out or something, but you could probably get on TCG Player and buy, or you could get on Facebook Marketplace and get a better deal than just buying it straight on TCG Player. But really, it'll increase just buying it retail at TCG Player or eBay. You could get on and buy a case of Temporal Forces right now, or maybe even some Paldean Fates, Paradox Rift, stuff that's getting a little bit older. You could get online and buy that stuff right now, and I guarantee you, I shouldn't say guarantee, you will more than likely see gains before Christmas. More than likely. I'd bet on it. I did it. I bought some Paradox Rift the other day. Guy on Facebook selling booster boxes for $190. There ain't no chance. That stuff's going to 250, Bob. Soon. If not, I haven't even looked at the price lately. But I don't know how to share a screen or anything. I don't know anything about that. I'll get better at this. But this is, I mean, there ain't no editing going on here. I just hit record and then upload it. So if I mess up on something, it's because of that. This video is probably long enough. If you've watched all of it, I really appreciate you. Um, I really appreciate comments, even if they're bad ones. I mean, part of doing this is you gotta get haters. I mean, that one guy dressed up like a Team Rocket guy. I mean, there's all kinds of people being mean to him. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, it is what it is. Tomorrow, I think I'll talk a little bit about how to get started on TCG Player, how to get to level 4 fast. It's an important thing. Um, if you've got a closet full of Pokemon, you got some binders full of stuff, and you've got time in your hands, you want to start a business, you're gonna want to follow because I'm going to show you how to get there and get there quick and have a chance to sell maybe $1,000 worth of cards a day. You can do it. Absolutely, you can do it. Everybody can. Thanks for watching. See you next time.